Hello, Virgos. At the center of your reading this month, I have the Two of Pentacles, and I'm going to go through what the rest of the cards are as well. In this deck, the Two of Pentacles has less of that juggler energy to me, though it does carry over kind of the sense of impatience that can come with that. But it feels more in this deck to me like it's kind of like a doubling of the Ace of Pentacles. Like if the Ace of Pentacles, if you think of it as the initial seed being planted, the Two of Pentacles is the further growth of that, and that's the energy that's coming through to me. I also feel a lot of fertility and possible pregnancy energy coming through for you. I'm sensing that a lot of you, or many of you, may be Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising and are watching both videos, or definitely should check out both videos. The reason I say that is because I picked up on some pregnancy or fertility energy in the Aquarius reading, which I did before this. And also I see you coming through here on the top right as the Queen of Swords, which is an air sign energy. There's another reason for that as well, and I'll come back to that. I want to just go through the cards. They're a little bit hard to read in the gold print here, or in the gold color at the bottom of the cards. So on the top left is the King of Pentacles. The center is the Seven of Pentacles. And then on the right, as I mentioned, is the Queen of Swords. In the center from the left is Temperance, Two of Pentacles in the center, the World on the right, and then on the bottom left, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Fairy Stallion, which in this deck is the Chariot, and to the right of that, the Sun card. Okay. So, and when I say this about the pregnancy and fertility, by the way, I want to mention that it's metaphorical. So for some of you, or it can be, so for some of you it may be literal, and you may be either trying to get pregnant, or if you're not, the message is definitely that you may be very fertile right now, so would want to take precautions if you're not interested in becoming pregnant, or that you may be pregnant already and planning for that, for the birth. But it could also be metaphorical in terms of having planted a seed for something business related or even friendship related, or with a partnership or a project or something along those lines. And that may be something that is beginning to grow, and I do feel like will come to fruition with this World card energy, but that may be causing a little bit of impatience right now. There are three cards and then so three cards. The Two of Pentacles, as I mentioned in this deck, does bring in a little bit of that impatience. It can, and I'm feeling it with this reading. You can see that she's looking at the seed that she's planted and the blossoming of it, but she doesn't have the full garden yet. And there's definitely a lot of fertile energy. There's the green, there's the beautiful rich soil, there's the sunlight. That's all contributing to the growth of that. That's why I feel that there's a lot of hope. Especially with the Sun and the card, and then the World card as well, that I feel that there's a lot of good energy surrounding this, that things will grow to the level that you want them to. And of course that would be true with a literal pregnancy as well, but it takes some time and patience. Temperance is definitely bringing in some of that same patience energy, and also just balancing. So I believe that you're coming up also as the Queen of Swords because there seems to be a lot of mental energy happening. I think that for a lot of you, impatience around something, whatever it may be, has to do with worrying about it, thinking about it too much. And Temperance is really calling in your ability to balance some groundedness with some intuitiveness that is very strong. Trying to place your energies more strongly on either of those aspects of your personality. I feel that you have the ability to ground, and that you have the ability to be more in your heart space and that more intuitive space. But lately, for some reason, it feels like you've been more in the mental space. And I think that's why you're the Queen of Swords here. This is interesting with the Seven of Pentacles in the top center. It's not always the case in all decks, but in this one she actually is pregnant, and it very much is about that patience and waiting. We actually see the sunlight coming in here too, and it kind of shining down on her, and I'm really sensing this strong energy of, even the message is even to enjoy some of the time that you have now, because it does feel like a waiting period, whatever it's related to. But this fairy stallion is going to come through quickly. At the bottom left, we see this Four of Pentacles, which can be about stagnation. It's definitely, though, going to be about this sense of nesting and preparing your home and feeling cozy. And, you know, this is even kind of a hibernating energy in this deck. That is something you'll be spending your time doing, and it is definitely a slower paced kind of energy, as is the Seven of Pentacles energy. Waiting for the harvest, waiting for everything to come to fruition, and slow time in the process. But this fairy stallion is very much about speed, and I feel like it's going to be very bright and happy, and a magical speed. I feel like it's going to change your world, though. So there's a shift there. I see a big transition from this Four of Pentacles energy to the fairy stallion chariot energy, and that's why I'm getting the message for you to really enjoy any time that you may be feeling impatient, it may feel stagnant, way too slow, but do your best to enjoy it. Enjoy that nesting, enjoy that preparing, whether it's for an actual birth or something else, and do what she's doing in the Seven of Pentacles card. Take some time to just sit down and enjoy the process. Allow the sun to shine down on you like that. Let the wind blow in your hair, and just think about how beautiful it is that you've planted the seed, period. You know, that you've been able to plant that seed, that the universe has provided you the opportunity for that, because I see no negativity here. The only negativity I feel comes in as your impatience. The King of Pentacles, and I feel like this may be an aspect of you also for some of you, and that's definitely about that groundedness, and you also see a person holding a child here. I am picking up on a person for some of you, though. This could definitely be the father of your child, and if that's the case, I feel like a very supportive person. But I'm getting the sense that whether or not this is someone that you're having a child with, it feels like there's maybe a little bit of a disconnect because of this opposite energy, where I feel like you're very impatient and this person is very patient. It could also be reversed. You could be dealing with someone who's very impatient and you're the one that's feeling more grounded and patient. But I do feel a little bit of a disconnect, and if that's the case, I feel like getting on the same page is definitely going to be related to this temperance energy. Well, two things. One, spending time planning together, doing things that will set the stage for whatever's to come together, filling your time with that, because if someone is, whether or not you're impatient, that can be something that is productive, and I feel like it's some place where you could be on the same page. And the other thing is discussing. I feel like I'm feeling with the temperance a back and forth about discussing feelings and matching that discussion of feelings with a discussion of expectations and planning. So more of the pentacles or earthy logistical things, a back and forth about that and how you're feeling about the situation. So I don't usually get this as a discussion, but I really am seeing, for at least the energy between these two people in the reading, using that balancing as a back and forth balancing discussion of ideas and thoughts and feelings to get more on the same page. Because it feels like where you're differing is more on the mental state, and I feel like bringing in some of that energy of the feelings and the planning and things like that can help you balance that and get more on the same page. I also feel I was getting a message at the same time of this person, this King of Pentacles energy, being not the father of, this is a very specific message, but this is someone who is an older father, probably not the father of a child that's going to be born or has just been born maybe, that is playing a major role in the life of this child, or will, and your life as a mother. Or a father. It could be, that you're in a partnership with someone that is going to give birth, or you're you could be a man who's having a child by himself, or it could be two men having a child, or two women. So I want to point out that I'm not drawn to the Queen of Swords as the person necessarily because I feel that it's more females watching this, though it is more females watching it, but that's more the energy of that impatience. So the specific message feels to me like it feels like a single mother maybe, or someone who doesn't have the father of their child in their life as much, maybe not, at least not living with, but there is a male who is playing a role in that life of the child and your life that is very magical and very special. It feels, the message is coming through, and again, this could just be for one person or two, or it's very specific. It feels like the universe wants you to know that honor that connection as much as possible, both for you and the child, because it feels like a very special soul connection between these two people. And it feels like it will be healing for all of you, but especially for him. And it's not to say not to put this person's feelings ahead of yours, but that just to know that it's a very healing situation for this King of Pentacles person. It could be an older father figure or an uncle, or just it does feel very male. It could be a male in your life. It's possible that it's female. If it's female, it feels like someone with a lot of masculine energy, very, very grounded and commanding and protective. But it could also, and it could be an earth sign, just to point that out. But it feels like such a special connection. I want to come back though to this King of Pentacles energy possibly being another aspect of you, because I'm feeling like there's a similar message which could also be about this soul connection between you and a child. And it's possible that this is not even, in this case, a child that you're giving birth to or that your partner is. It could just be a child in your life. You could be a teacher, and it could be a child that you're closely linked to or in some other way. But I feel there's something being highlighted about a soul connection with a child that may seem strange, and I feel like my message to you that I'm meant to give you is to highlight, to confirm and validate that connection as something really unique and special that should be nurtured and honored. And although it may be surprising in some way or something like that, it feels like a very special connection. So I just wanted to add that message on as well. All right, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you.